Yes, peer evaluation forms. This is her real speech.
Freedom. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It was not passed down to our children through the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and passed on for them to do the same. This quote is from our 40th President of the United States, Ronald Reagan. I know right now a lot of us are very preoccupied with the election presidents because we have an election, very important election coming up. And so I believe that this topic is relevant to us all as we look back on great presidents and men of the past. We can better make wise decisions for the future, our presidents now. Obviously, I wasn't alive when Reagan was in office, but I wish I would have been. He's my favorite president, and I've researched him a lot, so I feel like I'd be a credible source to inform you guys properly. My thesis statement would be, Reagan demonstrated a perseverant spirit as he overcame many obstacles to become one of America's most instrumental leaders through his role as both Governor of California and President of the United States. He was born in 1911. He went to Eureka College and studied sociology and economics. He's very involved with his college. He played football, everything like that. He began his career as a sports radio broadcaster, but then in 1937 he got a contract with Hollywood, and so he became an actor for 20 years after that, and he was in like 53 films. So that was his career, his first career. Then he became president of the Screen Actors Guild a few years later, and through that he became involved with the issue of communism on screen. And as he researched communism and its effects and everything, he realized how detrimental it can be for a nation. And originally he was really liberal, but he became more conservative as a result of becoming president of the Screen Actors Guild because he realized a lot more about that. Then he ran for governor, and he won in 1967. And he was governor of California from 67 to 75 during the Vietnam era. And he led California really well through all that. Second thing I want to talk about is his presidential success. He actually ran for president 2 times, and he failed twice, and then he ran for a third time in 1980, and he won against Jimmy Carter by a huge majority, so 3 times the charm. He was very a huge advocate of small government, and his domestic policy was to cut taxes, to curb government spending, and to decrease the deficit. And at his inaugural address, he said, "Government is not the solution to the problem, government is the problem." And during that time, America was really in an economic downfall. They were really depressed. And he became president in 1980, and then in 1983, we experienced a big economic boom. The unemployment sank 9.5%, which was huge compared to, it was unemployment was really high at the time that he became president. So he led America really well through that time. His foreign policy was peace through strength, and basically that means he wanted to maintain peace as much as he could by becoming the strongest nation that he could with the nations that surrounded America. He improved relations with Soviet Union a ton. That was probably his biggest foreign policy advantage or success. Last thing I want to talk about is his assassination attempt. 69 days after he was elected as president, John Hinckley Jr. Tried to kill him with a gun, and he was outside of a hotel, and it was really chaotic, and he shot him, and security shoved him into the car in the limousine, whatever. And he just thought that he broke a rib at first, but he actually got shot, and he just missed his heart, so he almost died. But he had a really, really good attitude through everything, and he was joking with the surgeons. I told you in my speech, but he was I hope you guys are all Republicans, and he was yeah, today we are, Mr. President, we're all Republicans for you. And so because of how he dealt with the whole situation, America fell in love with him so much more, just because of that whole situation. And he was really resilient through the whole thing, and he was back to work just a couple weeks later, even though he's an older president. And then last thing, he broke Tecumseh's curse, which is, he was an Indian way back in William Harrison's time, and he cursed America at the Battle of Tippecanoe, saying like every 20 years the president would die in office, and it did happen every 20 years in America. And Reagan was shot, but he didn't die, he survived, so he broke the curse, which is really cool to me. And at the end of his administration, the U.S. experienced the longest recorded amount of time of without a recession or depression since, like, in American history. So he was very positive, and I hope that informs you guys today.
Thank you. Yeah, it's anonymous. I'm gonna call it. Oh, hey. What? Okay, so all these sheets, the feedback that you're giving for people that are giving speeches are anonymous. And last time, like, very few of you actually wrote criticism or like constructive feedback. So to get your participation points for today, make sure you do that. It is anonymous. I cut them all out. Your names. So. Yeah.
Are you guys not listening to Dr. Alvin?
I cut it
Because
out.
I was.
So.
Yeah, it's anonymous unless you tell your handwriting.
Thank you.
Possible.
So we're going to take a quiz right now. That was just Jenny Betts to start us off early. So good job. Thank you. Oh, let me stop the. Let me go back here to the quiz.